The Villains have shown resilience in recent matches, securing a 2-1 win over Leicester City in their latest Premier League match, and this win adds some positive momentum as they prepare for tonight's FA Cup clash. West Ham United, on the other hand, have experienced mixed results, with a recent 4-1 defeat to Manchester City highlighting defensive vulnerabilities. But the Hammers will be eager to rebound and make a strong statement in the FA Cup, with new manager Graham Potter taking charge for the very first time. So it is an all Premier League tie. Aston Villa looking for a top 6 finish in the league, looking for a strong showing in the Champions League, and West Ham United looking to start again with a brand new manager in Graham Potter, the ex-Brighton and Chelsea boss. It's clear that Aston Villa and Unai Emery have gone for experience in this particular game. Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Tyrone Mings, Yori Tielemans, Ollie Watkins, Ian Matson, Boubacar Kamara, Bailey in the attacking areas, Morgan Rogers, Olsen in goal. There's clear experience in that team, and Villa look like the stronger lineup on paper. West Ham, though, under Graham Potter, have gone for strength as well. Lukas Fabianski leading the line in goal. You've got Mohamed Kudus, an attacking talent. Nicholas Fulkrug, who needs some minutes and needs to have some strong output in front of goal today. Lucas Paqueta, Crescencio Somerville's an exciting player. Maximilian Kilman's a bit of experience at the back. Aaron Bissaka, former Manchester United. But there is one young player to keep an eye out for. Oliver Scarles at left back. So then, that is half-time. Aston Villa 0, West Ham United 1. And you know what? I think West Ham, fair play to West Ham. They've come here with a point to prove. Now, Villa haven't got the best of records in the FA Cup. You do have to take that into account historically. I think that overall in that first half, I think that the Hammers were strong. They were pressing. They were on the front foot. They got a lot of pace. Shout out to Crescencio Somerville down the flank. Created the most chance in that first half with 2 overall. Shows a lot about the attacking side of the game in terms of clinicalness. But I think that Somerville, for me, was the more on it, or one of the more on it players. Lucas Paqueta as well, one of the more foul players, if not the most foul player in that first half with a couple of fouls on him. It was West Ham all over for me in terms of the attacking sense. And it's weird when you look at the stats of it. When you look at the stats, Villa have had most of the possession, but West Ham have had the most of the chances in terms of chances overall and chance on target as well. So when you look on the face of it, Villa and West Ham have had different games. Villa have been on the ball without a purpose. West Ham United have had less of the ball, but have been more clinical when they've been on it. And like I said, Somerville's been key to that. Paqueta's been key to that. I don't think the attacking players at Aston Villa on the pitch so far have been as on it, if you get what I mean. I feel like the attacking three or four for Aston Villa, are. For me, it felt like they were quite reluctant at times. They were taking a bit too many touches whenever they got a chance. And there was a couple of particular moments where I felt they could have done a bit better. There was one moment in the first half where West Ham defended very, very well. I thought Max Kilman did very well in defence as well. So for West Ham, in terms of going into the second half, I think the team talk needs to be, keep it compact and tight at the back, keep pressing on the front, keep going at these guys. Shout out to the teenager. Shout out to Ollie Scarles, 19 years old, defender, coming into a Senior Cup match, and wow. I mean, well done to Ollie Scarles. I mean, he's been decent today. He's been decent tonight. And he's shown exactly what he can do in that back line. Now, for Villa, what do they need to do? Well, I think, again, it's just press more on the front, go at West Ham a lot more than they have done in the first half. I think one thing that's kind of made the first half not as energetic as maybe it could have been, especially with the pace on the flanks for West Ham, the potential pace on the flanks and in the attacking third for Aston Villa, despite a couple of mistakes from Morgan Rogers, for example, and obviously Leon Bailey getting fouled off the ball a couple of times. It has been very stop-start at times, and the main reason for that is because of the 2 main injuries for West Ham. You had Fulkrug as one of them. Fulkrug was the main one for me. Nicholas Fulkrug was the main injury. Chasing after a ball, flat foot, and then you could just see him reach for the bench as he went down, and you could just see him tell the bench, I want to come off. Really wish the best for Nicholas Fulkrug. Both players, to be fair, that came off. But really wish the best to Fulkrug. Hopefully, that's only a month's wait for coming back. And, an injury like that's never good, is it? But let's hope that West Ham can get over the injury concerns, keep it compact at the back and keep it tight in the attack for the second half. From a Villa perspective, let's see what they can do. But let's skip forward to full time. If you are loving this review so far, make sure you do like the video if you've loved it, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe if you're new around here, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Right then, second half, Villa 2, West Ham 1. Wow. I mean, what a second half turnaround from Aston Villa. The villains of the piece have hammered the hammers back to London. And yeah, what a second half overall. First 15, 20 minutes, I knew what West Ham were going to do. Camp in their half, do the defensive stuff, shield the pressure from Villa's pace. And I knew that Villa were going to come out with a lot more intent. You saw the legends and the fans clapping out the Villa players at the start of that second half before kick-off for that second period. And yeah, you could see the ambition, you could see the fight in their eyes, you could see the hunger and the desire. And West Ham knew they were going to camp inside their half and defend for nearly the majority of that second half, because Villa knew they were going to come out with intent. They knew they were going to come out with more pace on the break than before. There was a lot more pace anyway, but they came out with a lot more than we thought they were going to have in that second half, judging on the basis of the first half. Then the equaliser came in. I mean, first of all, 8 minutes before that, there was a handball claim from Tielemans. Tielemans claimed for a lot of things in that second half, but that handball was nothing. It was ball to hand, if not anything, it was nothing. So the corner that wasn't a corner, which is going to sound weird if you haven't watched the game. It'll sound like David Copperfield's just waved his magic wand and made something appear. But the corner that wasn't a corner happened. And from that, Watkins tried to get it in, Fabianski spills it, and Nana's on the end of it, 1-1. It wasn't a corner, no VAR in action tonight because of the rule. Again, question me on that one. But, tell me in the comments, but corner wasn't a corner and Villa score from that. So 1-1. You could say that goal was a bit fortuitous. Then the winning goal came in just a few minutes later. And wow, again, I mean, brilliant ball through from Watkins. In comes Morgan Rogers, right place, right time, in it in the back of the net. So Villa win the game. There's a couple of West Ham players there's a few West Ham players who didn't deserve to be on the losing side tonight. Paqueta's one of them. I'll talk about him more in a second. Crescenzo Somerville for his pace down the flanks, his assist. You got Ollie Scales, young kid, did very well on the night. Shouldn't have been on the losing side tonight, but has been, and that's unfortunately the cutthroat business known as football, the beautiful game, of course. But like I said, the main player for me from the West Ham side of it, who shouldn't have been on the losing side tonight, was Lucas Paqueta. He was the most fouled player, he was the most tackled player, and he was also the player who won the most duels in that game. He was on fire tonight. He was pacey, he was direct, he was threatening, he was a constant threat. And I felt quite bad for him that he was on the losing side tonight, because he was definitely one of my men of the match. There's a few others it could have been as well, but overall, I'd say Paqueta had a great game across both halves, not just one half better than the other. I think overall, Paqueta had a strong performance. So Villa go through to the fourth round. They've not been in the fourth round a lot in recent times. I think literally their fourth round fixture, I believe it was against Chelsea, was literally their first time at that stage since 2016 in that time. So this is only their second time in the fourth round between 2016 and now. So this is a club, by the way. Aston Villa are a club that have won this trophy 7 times. They're a 7-time winner of the FA Cup, the oldest cup competition in the world. And they've been in the fourth round twice since 2016. I mean, it's unreal. But it's great for their fans. It's great for the football club. For West Ham, this might be a weird thing to say, and it might be a bit of a positivity PR thing to say. But I don't think West Ham needed the FA Cup this year, because this season felt like a bit of a write-off anyway. I think Potter can salvage something from this season, whether that's a high Premier League finish, whether that's some strong individual performances and development from players going into the new season next season for 25-26. I think Potter needs time with his squad, and he'll need a lot of time with his squad, and no doubt he'll get time with that squad. And he will develop a good West Ham squad that could potentially end up winning another European trophy in the future, in my opinion. But Potter will want to rule this out now. I think West Ham showed some good defensive nature at times, especially in the second half when Villa put more pressure on. I think first half they put a lot of attacking pressure on Villa, despite Villa having more of the ball regardless. And again, that was story in the second half. Villa had more of the ball. And West Ham will come again. They will definitely come again. And Potter will need to come back in the FA Cup next season with a much better squad overall. So Villa turned it round. They were the mentality kings in the second half. They put the pressure on. They broke down the hammers. And Villa deserved the win in the end. They really, really did. But fair play to West Ham for the first half performance. The defensive nature of the first 15 to 20 minutes in the second half, it just wasn't meant to be for the Hammers. And the Hammers fans, comment down below, Hammers fans, what do you think? Villa fans, comment down below, what do you think? And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now, and that is full time.